What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at this 2025 Ford Bronco Stroppe Edition. Now this is a nod to the Baja racing heritage created by Bill Stroppe back in the 60s and 70s. So you're gonna see a lot of this heritage design, which you'll see on old school Broncos from decades ago. With that, as you can tell, it has 4 different exterior colors. There is satin black for the hood and the rear liftgate. The hood being in the black color makes it to where when you're doing your desert Baja runs, the sun isn't gonna be blinding you, reflecting up. Then you're gonna get the orange color throughout the side. We also have the white and then the Atlas blue on the hardtop. It's a 3-piece hardtop. However, there are 3 removable portions of it, along with the 4th removable portion, which is the whole back of it. So pretty cool design with what this is. Only comes in a 2-door and with the Sasquatch package. And this one's MSRP is over $77,000. So let's get right into the Stroppe Edition, see what this car has to offer. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Ford Bronco Stroppe Edition, you're gonna get the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6. This makes 330 horsepower with 415 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. We do have 4-wheel drive. Max towing capacity is 3,500 pounds. Curb weight is 4,700 pounds. And this SUV runs on a 16.9 gallon fuel tank. You can also expect 17 miles per gallon in the city with 18 out on the highway. This also comes with the 35-inch tires. Of course, it has ground clearance over 11.5 inches with water fording even at 33.5 inches. And then we have the Haas 3.0 package with Fox internal bypass dampers. And then now on to the styling with the 2025 Bronco Stroppe Edition. As you can tell, this is a super bold color combination. You really have to want a bold Bronco to get this spec. So you're gonna see the white throughout the front of the grille, and then I love the LED headlights. You have that amber color throughout it, the red design as well. You're gonna get more of the code orange for the Bronco name, forward-facing camera, and then a really cool mesh design throughout the entire grille area. You can see we also have orange recovery hooks as well as a modular metal front bumper. You can see the skid plates underneath it, aluminum massive control arms as well. Tons of ground clearance. Of course, this is a super off-road capable 4x4. We also have the accessory ready points. These have a max load of 150 pounds each, where you can tie a cable up to that roof line. And then the satin black hood has a really nice look to it, as well as the contours. And then you can see just this trim piece with the step design throughout the mirrors. Finish off in the plastic black. At the side profile, you have those nice Goodyear 35-inch tires with a 17-inch bleed lock capable wheel, finished in gloss black as well as the satin black. Nice looking fender flares finished in the main body color. I guess we have multiple body colors on this car, but the code orange really does stand out. Got that Stroppe Edition badge as well. And then a really nice set of fixed rock rails, which also have steps that you can unbolt. Finished in a nice textured powder coating with the name Bronco on them. And then of course the doors are also removable. You're gonna need the plastic black for those door handles, Bronco name written out in back, and then Atlas blue throughout the roof. And you can get a good idea of the panels that are removable up on the roof. So a really nice way to be able to pop off some panels without having to take the whole back end off. For the side profile, being the 2-door Bronco, it is insanely short and stubby. However, that really does make it handle nicely for off-road situations. In back, we have some smooth lines cutting towards the LED taillights, which once again have a nice design to them. You can see the Bronco logo, more of the black throughout that rear swing gate, and then just a plastic rear bumper with parking sensors, recovery hooks, and a tucked away exhaust tip. You can see we have this full-size spare tire, backup camera right in the center with a 3rd brake light up above that. It's got a cool look, and from here you can see all 4 of the colors, which is definitely an interesting design. Very flamboyant, which makes sense given it is a nod to the 60s and 70s, which was all about funky colors back then. As far as the key goes, you're gonna get the name Bronco written out on the back side, and then all of your standard controls. We have remote start as well. If I go ahead and lock the Bronco, I can just walk up to it, grab the door handle, it'll automatically unlock, and we can take a look at the interior. This is gonna get a black vinyl interior with more code orange accents for all the stitching as well as some trim pieces. And then we have some of the Oxford white trim to match the exterior. For the door panel finished in black, we have this smooth vinyl material, your release handle with lock and unlock. You have that nice white trim piece, small padded armrest with a grab handle. There's a cargo net right here, even a lift point to help you pop these door panels off. And then moving inside, you can see how nice that step is integrated. All-weather floor mats, just your simple pedals. And then all manual controls for the seat, up, down. You have lumbar as well as the recline. You can see this cool texture for the vinyl seats, definitely a nice durable design. for when you take this off the pavement. Bronco logo embossed up above with more of that stitching, and then a 3-spoke design for the steering wheel with some dark trim and Bronco logo. And then now inside the 2025 Ford Bronco Stroppe Edition, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. The V6 is going to roar to life. You got the nice Bronco name written on that LCD gauge cluster. For the steering wheel, wrapped in black leather. On this left side, we're going to get some volume controls as well as cruise control settings, and then we have some information on the right side to control some screens as well as some Bluetooth. Stock on the left side is going to have the windshield wipers as well as your turn signals. Taking a look at the actual gauge cluster, pretty nice design overall with the tach over on the left side. We have temperature up above, speed on the far right. If I hit OK and get out of there, you can go through a couple different things in the center, which is a nice touch to see. You can see fuel economy, driver's assistance, configuring more things like that. Of course, some off-road status information. Going back to the main menu, you can scroll through all of this. Going under Bronco information, we have off-road status, of course, and then you can go into different gauges as well. So quite a lot of information that you're able to see in this, which makes a lot of sense for the off-road capabilities, as well as just your typical daily driving, like having navigation, audio, and phone settings all throughout the screen. Down below, we're going to get some headlight controls. We also have our interior dimming. You can see we have the electronic parking brake, and then we have corner lights on the side. We have more of this white trim, a grab panel integrated with your air vent, more of this cool vinyl material with stitching, Bang & Olufsen audio, and then there are some accessory points and a plug up on the dashboard. Right in the center, we're going to get a couple different controls for your sway bar disconnect, locking front and rear differential, trail turn assist, traction control, as well as your hazard icon. These are pretty cool buttons, kind of just this rubber durable material. Got another grab handle over on the right side with Bronco written out in more of that orange color, and then the full media screen right in the center, everything you're expecting to see on any modern Ford. So you have all sorts of phone integration, navigation will pop up as well, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, various settings as well. You can easily scroll through with the touchscreen, a couple different features, and then on the right side, we can scroll up and down and see a lot of different items. You can just click into one. Some of them you can just swipe over and flip-flop what you're going to see on the screen. So, nice screen overall. You can see some off-road settings, and then we even have a full 360 camera view, top-down view as well, and then you can configure this just a little bit for a full screen. You have parking sensors that will pop up. So definitely a nice design for that. Underneath, you're going to see some shortcuts. We have a shortcut to the camera. You can just tap that once. Auto start stop, parking sensors, some audio controls for volume and tuning, and then all of our climate control down below. We have heated seats and steering wheel, a toggle for the fan speed, which will also pop up on the screen when you make an adjustment. Temperature, it will pop up as well when you play with it. We have dual zone as well, and then you even get a little Bronco for the recirc. You're going to have storage down below along with a plug, and then I like how on this badge it has that old school font. We have a nice another grab handle, plus and minus on the upper part of the shifter with a Bronco badge, American flag on the back of it, and then 2 cup holders on the right. For all of your drive modes, they call them GOAT modes in this, we can toggle this little rotary dial, and you have quite a few different modes. You have your normal one for street driving, and then several different off-road ones, as well as an eco mode as well. So nice to see all that, especially for an off-roader like the Bronco. We have all our 4-wheel drive selection, and you can tap the center button for your trail control. That will turn on different one-pedal driving things. Of course, you can just adjust that with the 4-wheel drive system. You're going to see your window controls over here, along with the side mirror controls. Some more of this vinyl with stitching, and then popping that open, you have a pretty good amount of storage. Glove box on the right side, large bucket. And then one last look at the interior. Your typical Bronco, basically. However, this is honestly a fully loaded vehicle with all the nice soft touch materials, cool accents to it as well. And then for the roof, like I mentioned, here is the rear panel. You can actually completely pop out for the rear passengers, and then the front 2 you can pop out as well for the front 2 passengers. You have tons of auxiliaries up above if you want to add lights and winches, dome lights, simple mirror, and then garage door buttons underneath the massive sun visor. Now the 2-door Bronco still has back seats. You're going to go into the shoulder area of the seat, pull that, and we can slide that forward and get it out of the way a decent amount. There's going to be some areas where you can add some extra accessories on the backs, and then we have 2 seats sitting back here. They're pretty nice sized seats, honestly, with a full-size design. There's going to be a little bit of storage by just a nice cup holder, and then the headrests are flipped backwards where you can pop them upwards. For the seat bases, there's going to be a strap underneath. We can pull this up and get the seat out of the way, and then you're able to fold everything down by just pulling this and pulling it forward. So nice to see how compact everything is going to be. You can see the design for the windows. There are screws back here to remove the rest of the hardtop. And then once again, just the look, it just pivots on the back and you just have the 2 latches up in front to get them off. Now with this seat, if I pull it forward, I can still sit back here with the driver's seat of my height, 5'11". And overall, again, for being the smaller of the Broncos, it's actually a roomy back seat. Actually put the car seat in here rear facing and you're able to sit in front of it. So this could be a decent family car. No air vents in the back, you just have some plugs in the center console. But given it's a small interior, it cools down nicely. Of course, having this, which is really cool. Front seat passengers could have the roof on. Backseat kids, you know, can have their roof off, which is a fun touch. Moving on to the cargo space, you're just gonna grab the handle over here and push out the swing gate, and then you can manually grab the glass and we're gonna lift that up. So as far as storage goes, it is a little on the small side, even with the seats down. I had an exhaust system that I tucked back here to sell, and I had to fold all the seats down just to fit all the piping. So it is definitely a smaller vehicle for sure versus a four-door Bronco. You can of course see how everything is designed with the seat up versus down. Pretty simple back here. You have these nice cargo tie downs, got the Bronco logo, and then we can lift that up for a little storage as well as a jack point. You have the Bronco logo on the light on the far right side, and then you can see the design for the exposed roll cage all throughout it. So simple layout with enough space for some general things. Not exactly the most family-friendly SUV in the world. However, it still could be usable if you want something extra fun. All right, so setting off now in the Bronco. I will say the V6 is quite nice to have. It's got some decent power to it. It sounds good. It's not exactly the fastest thing out there, but it's peppy enough to at least move, and for off-roading, that's gonna be quite nice. Now, when you're in this, it's basically like a fully loaded Sasquatch package to our Bronco. The Stroppe Edition is more of the outside. On the inside, it's really just the orange accents. So it's a very nicely equipped car, at least nonetheless. The seats are comfortable. You got a cool view around. You can see those points of the hood. And when it drives, it's such an interesting driving vehicle with such a short wheelbase. It turns so well in the slow speeds. It feels like a tank. There is a ton of body roll, but this is an off-roader. Hitting quick bumps, I mean, this is just at home running over things. When I've been driving this throughout the week, you know, if there's a steep hill or incline or something, I'm going that direction just because it is fun to take this thing anywhere because it is super capable off-road. But it is comfortable enough. You know, these seats are nice and padded. You have really good maneuverability to the seats themselves to where it's a easy vehicle to just get comfortable in. Yes, there's some wind noise and road noise. It's better than a Jeep Wrangler, but it's obviously not exactly the most refined SUV out there. But it steers so nice when you're making those turns, and anytime there's anything off pavement, honestly, you just want to hit it. So it is really cool just to tackle anything. Obviously, this is nothing. This can go very, very well off pavement. But it is fun to just cruise around town with it, especially if you pop the roof off. I love how the rear panel is independent too. But it's pretty neat to drive, you know, it's comfortable enough, it's good enough on-road for being an insanely capable off-roader, and you have the modern technology that you would expect for anything in the modern world, especially at a $77,000 price tag. This is not a cheap car at all. I mean, this thing is pretty pricey, but you have the features that you would expect for the money. Overall ride quality on the road with the Fox suspension, it does absorb bumps really well. Again, you can just drive over anything in this and you just don't have to worry about it. So moving on to my honest thoughts with the Bronco. With the top off, of course, I haven't really been able to take the top off of these all too much. Not too bad, we're going 40 miles an hour. It's gonna get even more windy, of course, if I go faster. So for wind noise, hopefully you guys can hear me quite well. But it's been a fun vehicle. This is the kind of car that isn't exactly your daily driver type of vehicle that you need to be perfect. This is supposed to be something that you're gonna smile a lot when you own it. You know with a Bronco that there are gonna be some sacrifices. It's not the nicest vehicle to drive. However, it's not supposed to be. This isn't supposed to be a luxury vehicle. This vehicle shines when you're hitting the trails. This is very capable, one of the best capable off-roaders out there. And honestly, anything a Wrangler can do, a Bronco can do, but you don't have to suffer with an awful on-road driving experience. So it's nice how the Bronco is good enough on-road. You have some cool, fun aspects like these two panels off. I can take the one in the back off too, which is great, especially if you have kids in the back. You know, they can kind of experience the open top experience if you don't want to take the whole rear section off, which is a little annoying with the bolts. But Ford at least gives you the options Different Broncos, of course, have several different roof styles, even with the soft tops, things like that. Doors come off. I mean, who can't have fun when you're in a Bronco? The Stroppe Edition, the color combo is bold. You have got to want a bold vehicle to get this trim. It is not gonna be everybody's taste. It feels kind of like a, I don't know, a Matchbox car or something. It's kind of funny to drive this around, but it is cool for what it's supposed to be. This is kind of a 60s and 70s throwback, and when you look back, they had colors like this. So it's got that design. I think they've done a good job giving you that throwback, but still giving you a nice, normal, loaded up Bronco at the end of the day. So no real complaints with what this car has to offer. I guess the Bronco in general, if you look at just a two-door Bronco with a Sasquatch package, it is nice and tall. The turning circle is incredible. And given you have this short wheelbase, the overhangs are insane. You can do anything off pavement in a two-door Bronco. It just has the capability. With its drivetrain, the sway bar disconnect 4x4 system and everything, we've gone to the off-rodeo that Ford and kind of the Bronco team have done. These can do everything. They can do things that you wouldn't think a off-the-shelf SUV can do. So it is nice to see how capable this is without sacrificing also the technology and some decent, nice materials. Now, you're not gonna see leather in here, but it's, you know, an off-road vehicle to where you want this vinyl. This is gonna be easy to wipe down, keep clean, dry off when you get it wet and dirty. So it kind of has a lot going for it. But that is it for this vehicle. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.